Hey, twin, that's my twin. That's my twin. That's my twin.
We just found out we were twins. Isn't that cool?
And I'm your twin brother.
We call this here a little twin.
Twin tapping up a jet ski.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TYTWINZ. Twinning ain't easy. So today we're going to talk about something that a lot of twins deal with on a regular basis, almost daily, but they don't always talk about it. So we're going to talk about identity today, and more specifically, what it feels like when you're constantly being compared to your twin. From the outside looking in, people love to point out similarities. I look just alike, or I can't tell y'all apart. A lot of folks don't realize those constant comparisons kind of start to shape how you feel about yourself. Even in some twins, it can even limit how you see yourself. It's very important that you understand that. And for me, I've experienced firsthand growing up, people would say things like, oh, he's the funny one, or he's the smart one, or he's the athletic one. And at first, you kind of brush it off like it's not a big deal. But then what ends up happening is you start to ask yourself, who am I outside of my twin? Who am I outside of this union that I was born into? I can't change it. This is how my life has been. This is what it was when we were born. You can't change it. You kind of start asking yourself these questions to figure out who you are. If you're familiar with this, it's almost like your individuality is always being measured by your twin, or what your twin is or isn't doing. And it's tough because if you're trying to grow into your own person, for whatever reason, you keep getting boxed in like a music artist. You know, they're working for the label, and a lot of artists is like they want to have their own creativity. They want to be able to do what they want, wear what they want. But the record label's like, hey, look, we can't have you doing all that. You need to, we need you to stay right here. Stay right here within rap or whatever genre that you're in, and even with your creative style. So it's an issue that a lot of people have. But if you know artists, if they want to branch out and do a different genre, they'll get kickback, a lot of kickback from the record label and sometimes fans, because it's like, no, I want you to be right here. This is where I put you. This is where I placed you. And that's why I kind of relate being a twin to being famous in a way, because that's one thing. If you're an artist or an actor, there are certain roles that people say, oh, we don't like you doing this role. We like you doing this role. Or like I said, going out into public. And this is a different type of thing where you bump into someone who knows your twin and you don't know. People are like, oh my God, you have kids, you're the married, you're this or that. They'll start talking to you and you're like, whoa, I'm so sorry. Like, where do I know you from? Or I can't remember. And sometimes you'll see people and you'll be like, okay, I'm tripping. Well, I don't know this person. Do I know them from the gym? Do I know them from church? Do I know them from work? Where have I met this person? And you're thinking, okay, I'm tripping. I'm tripping because they surely know who I am. But then you have to break it down and be like, I'm a twin. Oh my God, we have a really funny story about that, but I want to get into that a little bit later in the episode. If I even revisited this episode, I might save it for another, but really fun story, a funny story about that. But back to identity, sometimes that pressure, it can come from home, it comes from teachers, it can come from family and friends, and they mean well, but they'll say things like, why can't you be like your brother? Or he did this, what happened with you? And that kind of hits, or he or she, obviously. But for me, it's he. It makes you feel like you're not enough unless you're keeping up or standing out or feeling this expectation that everybody is expecting, okay, this twin did that, so you have to do the same exact thing. It creates a lot of confusion and on an interpersonal level, because you're kind of dealing with yourself. Here's the truth. I feel like being a twin doesn't mean being the same. Obviously, we share DNA, we share birthdays, a lot of memories, but you still have your own dreams. You still have your own strengths. You still have your own struggles. And those are unique to you. So even if you are a twin and you're battling that, a lot of people don't understand that. And from the outside looking in, it's easy for people to do that. Because if you see two cars and they're identical, like for your own personal understanding, they're the same color, same make and model. I need to figure out how to tell these two cars apart. One might not even have an engine under the hood. You wouldn't even know until you pop the hood. So there's certain things you kind of have to explore and kind of dive into, so you can tell, okay, This is the one that doesn't have the engine. This is the one that the electrical is jacked up, or whatever the case. It's human nature to kind of make sense of things. So for us, we want to figure out stuff. We want to have the knowledge and the understanding. Okay, what's the difference between this and that? And they look the same, but there's got to be a difference. If you are a twin, when you start to kind of own your own identity without the need for comparison, that's when you really build up your confidence, and it really will start to show. When you can look at your twin and say, I love who you are and I love who I am, that's the growth. That's the real growth and happiness. Because at the end of the day, we're here together. I tell my wife, I tell people all the time, like, you can't divorce your twin. You can leave and act like, oh, I don't care, we're not talking or whatever. But at the end of the day, even me doing this podcast by myself or doing these episodes, people might see these videos, them work with my brother and be like, hey, I seen you. You're the TYTWINZ guy. And he's like, nah, right now that's my brother doing the videos and I'm in it. But I'm like, whether I get recognition for this or not, people are going to associate the twins. It happens all the time. And we have some stories I want to get into. We'll probably do it on the next episode where we talk about some of the things that we got into when we were kids and how maybe one of us did something, but it kind of laid a foundation for how people were like, the twins did this, the twins did that, and the twins are like little Dennis the Menaces or Bebe's kids, if you will. It took me a while to get used to, I guess, thinking I didn't match my twin in something, or I was behind, or I feel like now I see things differently where our paths, they're supposed to diverge sometimes. They're not supposed to always be the same. I think when you're a young twin, you're around each other so much, and your parents, and a lot of the same experiences are occurring to you really in the same exact time. So it's easy, and children aren't always emotionally mature enough to be able to pick things apart and understand, oh, this is why I feel the way I feel. It's like, no, I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm sad. There's not a sophisticated level of understanding that, hey, you know what? Me and my twin are different, and this is what I like, and this is what they like. Because if your parents get you something, you're going to both have to like that for now, or a specific book or whatever you have. So certain shows that are on TV, you might like to watch one, but you kind of, whatever's around you. If your parents listen to a certain kind of music, both twins will typically lean into that type of music, as most children do. But those are the common bonds that we share. And then once we branch apart, we start kind of diving in, doing our own thing. Another thing I learned about your identity as a twin, there are a lot of things that if your twin is good at, typically you might enjoy and be okay at as well. But typically one twin is usually significantly better at something than the other. And not always, because there are a lot of twins that do things together, but it could be a small thing. Like my brother cuts my hair, and I mentioned this, I think, in a previous episode. Look at my hair. We were having a little a moment, so I haven't had an opportunity to talk to him. Nothing's too crazy with my hair right now. This is how my hair is, but I go to the barbershop and it's always like, oh, bro, you went to the barbershop. Why'd you go to the barbershop? And sometimes I don't have a time to go and make sure that, I can link up with my brother. He's busy. I got a family. He has a family. We're not always able to get that done, even when we get the family together. Like I said, our paths are supposed to diverge sometimes. Within that whole system, like, it doesn't mean that one twin is better than the other. It just means that you're becoming who you were meant to be, in essence. So for any twins listening, if you kind of can lean into that, embrace your twinship. I did not say the other word. I said twinship with a P. So embrace your twinship, but protect your identity. Protect who you are as an individual. You don't have to compete with your twin. You don't. And I want to share that with everyone. You just have to be real with yourself. And once you guys and girls learn to do that, I feel like your relationship will always be strong, because you'll have a mutual respect for each other. Like, hey, those are my brother's friends or my sister's friends. That's how they do. That's my twin's circle, or that's what my twin likes to do. And I'm over here. I like to do this or that. And you kind of can support each other. I'll give you another example of identity. We both play basketball, me and my twin brother Tyari. And in high school, he actually made the junior varsity team our junior year. And I tried out, and shout out to Coach Roper. So shout out to A.B. Miller. Coach Romanoli, we know you're out there. Fontana, A.B. Miller, if you know, you know. All right, shout out to all my rebels. I was told that I made the team simply because my brother made the team, and they wanted to kind of keep us together, which I was cool with that. I was fine riding the pine and because guess what? I got to watch my brother play, even though he thrived in basketball and ended up playing our senior year and making it on the varsity basketball team when he was told he wouldn't. It just goes to show you, like, you can't listen to what everyone is saying and the noise and the people in your head and ear. You just have to just go and do it. Just like this podcast, creating this channel and opening up this community for twins. Like, just because people... I'm telling you, right when you get on that cusp of success, when you're about to do something, there's so many things that are going to happen. And you're just going to be like, what the hell? When I was just sitting here chilling on the couch eating bonbons, you know what I'm saying? None of this stuff was happening and watching Netflix and sitting on my ass all day. But now I get up and I want to start doing something with my life. And now I got all this drama, all of this animosity, I feel like, or conflict. And it's like, whoa, where did all this come from? But now you try to do something different. And this is part of it. Shout out to all my twins out there. If you like the video, you already know, like and subscribe. I want to give a shout out to all our teammates that play basketball. If you guys support the channel, the twins are back. We're trying to do something to help twins. So we know some of our friends from high school have twins. Some of them were twins, maybe identical or fraternal. So show your love, show support. Until the next video, stay blessed, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Hey, twin, that's my twin.
We just found out we were twins. Isn't that cool?
And I'm your twin brother.
We call this here a little twin.
Twin, tapping off a jet ski. Yeah.